Right now at 6, the man accused of a road rage homicide is pleading not guilty.
And a recently identified World War II soldier is laid to rest in his hometown.
We're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Well, it's been a scorcher of a day in the Coulee region, causing dangerous heat conditions all across our viewing area. With that, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart for the latest.
Yeah, for the most part, August has been really quite pleasant, minus a degree. We had 92 earlier in the month, but this past weekend we started feeling the heat, humidity, and summer return, and today definitely is the hottest day out there, and that's why we've had the alert day for heat and sea values that have approached or exceeded 110 at times. But we still got the severe storms that are going to be coming later tonight, really after 10. There's a couple rounds really we're looking at about 10 to 11, and then one that could potentially impact your morning commute. So we still got the alert day overnight. The heat will still continue. We have an enhanced risk right now for severe threat. That is really looking at level 3. There is a watch out, but it's just west of Eau Claire right now. Those counties with some activity that's developing in Minnesota that will approach the area, but for right now that's the only watch. We do have excessive heat warnings till 8 p.m. Advisories actually are in effect for tomorrow because we will cool down, but still heat and sea values could be over 100 as we go beyond 8 p.m. too. And really, those are your heat values right now. We've seen 111, 112. That's what we've seen right now. Radar quiet, but we are watching that thunderstorm activity out to west of Minneapolis that will be coming through and approaching some parts of the area after 10, along with maybe some more activity later. So we'll time that out, and we'll actually time out what the morning commute looks like. But the better news is, if you like cooler conditions, Labor Day weekend is looking much better than it is now.
That sounds like great news right there, especially after today. All right, Greg, thank you.
Well, Black River Falls residents are being asked to conserve energy over the next 2 days.
Yeah, the city's municipal utilities manager says they're working on replacing a failed transformer, and the extreme heat could lead to overloading their distribution system, leaving the city prone to a, quote, catastrophic failure.
Now, they did cite a couple of ways to reduce your energy output, such as turning off all unnecessary lights and appliances, drying laundry in the early morning or late evening hours, and setting your thermostat to at least 76 degrees.
Now, this intense heat can be uncomfortable, even dangerous, especially for your pets. But with preparation, your pets can stay safe during these dog days of summer. Proper hydration and keeping exercise light are the most effective ways to keep your dog from overheating. Experts also recommend to keep your animals at home, as the temperature inside a car with the windows slightly open can still reach 102 degrees within 10 minutes, and then after a half hour, up to 120 degrees.
Just had a call earlier today for a dog left in a vehicle while people are in the store. Please leave your dogs at home. They may not like the air conditioning, but the heat will kill them.
The Coulee Region Humane Society also says rooms with tile floors like bathrooms and basements are great places to leave your animals because they stay cooler than the rest of the house.
Today was the preliminary hearing for a Trempealeau County car crash turned homicide. Todd Geek has been charged with multiple charges, including first-degree reckless homicide, after allegedly shooting his firearm and killing 36-year-old Kyle Dahl of Ettrick. Geek claims the shot was an accidental discharge. A witness to the scene recalls the events leading up to the lethal shooting.
Geek had told Mr. Romo watch something about watch this, and raised up his left hand and shot the firearm. He had heard him shoot, and he had heard glass shatter.
Now, Geek's next scheduled court appearance is set for July 15th of 2025. A 2023 Chippewa Falls armed robbery has been dismissed. Jeremiah Mackey is acquitted of his charges, including armed robbery with use of force, substantial battery intended to cause bodily harm, and false imprisonment. Mackey was accused of breaking and entering into a Chippewa Falls apartment that injured 2 people. Elijah Johnson and Solomon Ward were also charged in the robbery. Johnson was sentenced to 8.5 years of prison in April, while Ward awaits his jury trial.
A former Monroe County Jail nurse accused of sexually assaulting an inmate is taking a plea deal. 54-year-old Teresa Fenico was originally charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault, as well as other charges of delivering prescription drugs and attempting to deliver illegal articles to an inmate. In Monroe County Court today, Fenico is pleading no contest to a reduced charge of third-degree sexual assault and attempting to deliver illegal articles to an inmate. The other 2 charges were dropped but read in. She'll be sentenced October 23rd.
Now, if you noticed flags flying at half-staff today, it's to honor a fallen World War II soldier finally returned home. Air Force Sergeant and Cooley Region native Jack Holfeld lost his life fighting in World War II. His remains were recently identified and sent back to Wisconsin for burial. Last week, Governor Evers signed an executive order asking flags to fly half-staff in Holfeld's honor.
And St. Patrick's Parish in Onalaska is honoring Sergeant Holfeld and his family with a funeral ceremony and burial more than 80 years after his death.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall has this story. Jeremy.
Emily, Sergeant Jack Holfeld was born in Vernon County and died in captivity in the Philippines in 1942. His remains left unidentified until last May when the Defense POW MIA agency were finally able to make a positive ID. Today, family and community members gathered to remember the former La Crosse resident and pay their respects to his service and sacrifice. Dozens packed into St. Patrick's Parish in Onalaska to pay their respects to Holfeld. He lived in both La Crosse and Trempealeau before enlisting in the U.S. Army Air Corps and departing for the Philippines. Holfeld died in captivity in December 1942 and was buried in a common grave at the American Military Cemetery in Manila, one of 6 service members interred at the site listed as unidentifiable. A difficult burden for his mother, who wrote letters to the War Department but never saw her son return home. Now that burden has been lifted.
It was just an incredible feeling of relief, and the whole family just celebrated and cried.
His great-nephew Steve says that at one point he had given up hope that his uncle would ever be returned. He and the rest of his family are celebrating tonight. Sergeant Holfeld is the recipient of 10 different awards for his service, including the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. So a big day for the Grawl family.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Well, the new school year officially started for West Salem high schoolers today.
Now, while most grades had a shortened day, News 8 Now's Allison Fergit shows us the unique first day the school's youngest members had.
West Salem freshmen got an outdoor schooling experience they'll never forget. Yeah! West Salem's Outdoor Education Center offers a unique opportunity for the district's students.
We have 130 acres out here. There's trails. We have a couple natural springs out here.
Throughout the school year, students of all ages use the space, but it serves a special purpose at the start of a new year, helping freshmen prepare for high school.
I think it's just great in today's age to get kids out, get outside in the environment and actually talk face to face.
Students spend half of the day at the center, working on different problem-solving activities before taking on the center's low ropes course.
Students have to communicate face to face, problem solve. There's teamwork and there's trust elements.
Physical education and health teacher Jamie Olson has helped coordinate the annual program for more than a decade. He says he sees students grow throughout the day.
And it's really to get them out of their comfort zone a little bit, but do it in a fun way.
He says with every problem-solving challenge conquered and every 12-foot wall climbed, these students are getting better prepared for the next 4 years.
So when we go through our elements, a lot of it is team building, but it's also getting them to think about how does this relate to life and how does it relate to school.
And they hope it leaves a lasting impression.
They have stories for the rest of high school to talk about.
In West Salem School Forest, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
Now, the school year for West Salem's elementary and middle school students will start on Tuesday.
Civilians in space.
The details of SpaceX's plan to send a group of 6 people into a record orbit when we come back.
Life has become too expensive. Groceries and gas have gotten out of control, and red tape is killing the economy. But fortunately, our Congressman Derek Van Orden is fighting for solutions to make living more affordable for us in Wisconsin. He's advocating for common sense bills that would make everyday items like gas and groceries more affordable.
Now, Congress has an opportunity to lower costs by cutting red tape. Tell Congressman Van Orden to keep working to lower costs and support the Red Tape Reduction Act.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls presents Slaughter with Quiet Riot. An explosive night of live rock and roll. Friday, October 25th. Slaughter with Quiet Riot. $60 tickets include $15 free rewards play. Slaughter and Quiet Riot together. Friday, October 25th, exclusively at Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls.
T-Mobile coverage in my area is wonderful.
We have 8 acres, and it gives you peace of mind to know that you're going to have a reliable signal.
We enjoy hiking, we enjoy the outdoors. The coverage has been great.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
An all-civilian crew of explorers could make history in space this week.
That's right. They're scheduled to blast off tomorrow on a 6-day SpaceX mission that will take them into a record orbit above Earth, more than 3 times higher than their International Space Station. They'll also attempt the first ever commercial spacewalk.
Christian Benavides has more on the ambitious Polaris Dawn mission from Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
41-year-old billionaire entrepreneur Jared Isaacman is leading the Polaris Dawn crew of 4 civilian astronauts as they attempt to do something that's never been done before, the first commercial spacewalk.
Grow up a time to see humans walk on the moon. I really would like my daughters to, see humans walking on Mars someday.
In 2021, he financed and led Inspiration 4, the first all-civilian mission to orbit the Earth. Now Isaacman and his crewmates, retired fighter pilot Scott Poteet, and 2 SpaceX employees, Anna Menon and Sarah Gillis, are ready to make history.
It's been an absolute amazing journey training for this mission, and we just can't wait to go to space.
The first commercial spacewalk would happen about 435 miles above Earth. The Dragon capsule will vent down to the vacuum of space, and Isaacman and Gillis will take turns floating through the open hatch for about 15 minutes apiece.
While the crew has been undergoing extensive training for something that has never been done before, everybody agrees this is risky business.
Flying people is the most severe thing that we do at SpaceX. We try to design the mission, and then we think about anything that could go wrong and make sure we have a plan to keep humans safe.
The explorers will wear special spacesuits designed to withstand extreme temperatures.
Oh, it has to have all the means to sustain life. When it's pressurized up, what you're seeing there is a mini spaceship.
Through years of planning, dreaming, and training, the Polaris Dawn crew is confident their mission will mark the dawn of a new age in space exploration. Christian Benavides, CBS News, at the Kennedy Space Center.
The Polaris Dawn mission is set to blast off at 3:38 tomorrow morning.
Well, storms tonight after today's heat could bring things down a whole degree.
That's right, Greg. We'll break down our forecast when we go.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act.
It takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or get $3,500 purchase cash on select GMC Sierra models. Or get a total of $6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Footwear Sale is going on now. Shop our unbeatable selection and prices on your favorite brands of fall boots and shoes. Right now, all Skechers are buy one, get one half price. Plus, find value on quality brands throughout the store, like 2.5-gallon boxes of Clean Def, now just $6.99. And buy 3 Goodyear tires, get 1 free with installation, plus up to $100 consumer rebate on select sets of 4 Goodyears.
Find value at Blain's Farm and Fleet.
Hello. It was 1990 when I first looked out of the TV and told you about high quality at lower prices. Hi, I'm Miles Wilkins, owner of the Board Store. Some things have changed. Products have gotten so much better. We've gone from 3 to almost 80 employees, and I'm just a little bit older. Some things haven't changed. We still offer high quality at lower prices. Call today for a prompt free estimate on your next home improvement from the Board Store.
My day is packed.
Client meetings, patient rounds, getting kids out the door.
But Eric Hovde thinks all women care about is Hollywood.
It's just deplorable. Sadly, with females, they spend too much time focused on what's going on in Hollywood.
Well, guess what, Eric Hovde?
We know you supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
And we know you'd vote for a national abortion ban, too.
Eric Hovde must think he knows better than us.
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Yeah, it's not going to be more of a degree cooler, probably a couple degrees cooler, but it's not going to feel much different tomorrow. The one thing you've noticed is the dew points too. This is a measure of the humidity in the air. Rarely do we get 80-degree dew points. We haven't seen it much all summer, but we had it today too. And with all the corn maturity right now, that's why it does produce a lot more moisture for the atmosphere. So that's why we're seeing these dew points. The good news, they'll be maybe a degree or 2 lower tomorrow, so our heat and sea values won't be as high. But we kind of skipped right over that. The alert day really, so the heat is probably till about this evening. Then overnight we have 2 rounds of thunderstorms we're monitoring right now. Damaging wind is probably the biggest threat. I don't think the hail will be as much, but the damaging wind we'll have to keep an eye on. But 2 rounds potentially for severe thunderstorms, and there will be a little bit of improvement tomorrow, but not much. Overall, here's the heat dome that's really built up from the south. As the west really saw some unseasonably cool air with even snow in some of the mountain areas, we saw the heat here, and eventually this front is going to make its way through us, so we will cool down a little bit, but it is kind of weakening. So it's going to be a slow cool down until we get a bigger system towards the end of this week that'll really produce a great Labor Day forecast. But hot and muggy this evening. Thunderstorms overnight, some severe damaging winds. This could impact the Tuesday morning commute. Not as hot and muggy tomorrow, so instead of seeing 110 heat and sea values today, we'll probably be in about the 96, 98 range too. So more of a heat advisory than an excessive heat warning, which is out right now. Overall, there's 2 kind of scenarios we're watching with the thunderstorms this evening. That first round, some questions exactly the extent of it, how far south it goes and how fast it gets. This one actually produces thunderstorms about 9 to 10, hitting Eau Claire, potentially severe with damaging winds. The southern tail of this line actually kind of falls apart, but it does make its way through to Winona and La Crosse, maybe around 10:30. Not much on the way there. Black River will get some of this maybe at 11:30. This kind of then shifts off to the east fairly quickly, and we have a break, and there's our next round potentially coming for around the morning commute. Now there's another scenario. This one is a little bit less in the way of thunderstorm activity. It still brings some thunderstorms that potentially could be severe around 9 to 10 through Eau Claire. It extends down to about the same area, but not quite as widespread, and the southern extent really barely touches La Crosse at about 10, so we might see a shower, maybe a wind shift. It does develop stuff once again near Black River Falls and to the east around 10:50, 11. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but generally this trend is everything is further north of I-90 with this round, so everyone south of it won't have to worry about it. The morning commute thing we're going to have to keep an eye on too, because that's the next round that potentially could come through our way. Not till probably after about 6 are we going to start seeing this line approach La Crosse. It could be as early as 6, or it could be a little bit later as 7. You see this kind of this bow shape, which means if it does come through, it'd be gusty winds would be the main severe threat. By 8 p.m., it's already past Eau Claire and pushing up to the east, so it'll be quick, maybe about a couple hours coming through, and then we might see a shower or 2 later on throughout the day, but I think most of the day will be dry, and the dew points will be just a little bit lower, a little cooler, because the winds will be out of the north just a little bit. So the main round of thunderstorms going maybe for Tuesday afternoon and evening, probably will be south of the area, so that's the good news. Maybe one potential round of severe and we should be good. Overall, there's your heat and sea values we've had today. Feel like temperatures. Notice tonight still almost 90 at 11 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Then tomorrow, waking up in the 70s for feel like, and then in the afternoon, there's your 90s. So we're not going to see as much hundreds, but still it's going to be hot and humid, just a couple degrees cooler with the heat and sea values and the dew points. Otherwise, Wednesday cooler, then the next front comes through. Thursday with thunderstorms likely Thursday night, and then much cooler air mass. Even cooler as you go to Labor Day with another front too, which will be back in the mid-70s. So all in all, we get through Thursday, Friday and beyond. It's looking really nice.
Yeah, looking like a great weekend.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Eagles are preparing for their first match of the year this week. Find out how they're feeling coming off a one-loss season back in 2023. Jacob is next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Listen, Eric Hovde, Mr. Fancy California banker, I earned my retirement, but you said you would absolutely cut Social Security and even raise the retirement age. Now you want to take away our right to vote? Eric Hovde, you're one heck of a jerk. Will never have my vote. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
If you've been hurt in a motorcycle accident due to no fault of your own, you need the personal injury law firm of Schwabel, Getz & Sieben.
The best thing we did was call Schwabel, Getz & Sieben right away.
Schwabel, Getz & Sieben will fight for you in getting a fair settlement.
They really were on top of everything. They left nothing to chance.
They took the worry out of the situation. Absolutely recommend them.
Call the personal injury powerhouse Schwabel, Getz & Sieben or visit schwabel.com to receive a free case consultation.
Make your weekends unforgettable with help from Menards. Whether you're soaking up the sun or relaxing indoors, we have what you need for a good time. From creating the perfect place to entertain family and friends, to stocking up on your favorite essentials. Menards is your one-stop shop for your next adventure. Check out all the hot deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Get up to $7,400 in total savings on a new 2024 Ford F-150, only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Well, the UWL women's soccer team was trying to beat the Heat this morning at practice as they get ready for their first game of the year later this week. And it's a season with some big hopes around the Eagle program as they're coming off a 20-win, 1-loss campaign back in 2023. In the D3 championship quarterfinals last year, they fell in penalty kicks to end their season and stop their unbeaten run. Now this season, they return 9 starters and are projected to finish first in the conference. The WIAC Goalkeeper of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year are all back. And all these accolades and expectations are great, but UW La Crosse knows they'll get every team's best shot.
I think it fuels us in a way, you know, knowing that everyone's going to try really hard to beat us, and knowing that we tend to always come out on top still is definitely a fun thing. And honestly, I like it. I like the competition.
We don't have to talk about winning the national title as a goal. You don't choose to come play here if that's not what you're trying to do in soccer or realistically in almost any sport.
Now Murphy is in year 11 as the head coach of the team. The Eagles will hope to pick back up where they left off last season on the road at UW Superior on Friday. The Green Bay Packers wrapped up their preseason over the weekend, and they must have thought they need a new backup quarterback because earlier this afternoon it was announced that Green Bay is sending a 2025 7th-round pick over to the Titans in exchange for Malik Willis. Willis is entering his 3rd season in the NFL. He started 3 games for the Titans and has appeared in another 8. Willis is still very young, but has had a good preseason here where he was 20 of 27 with 205 passing yards and added 101 rushing yards. And if all goes well in Green Bay, he won't see the field, but for a 7th-round pick, he is a solid backup option. And after a blown lead yesterday against the Cardinals, the Twins ended up dropping 2 of 3, but are back in action at home tonight against the Braves. Minnesota still has plenty of cushion in the AL wildcard race, up 5 games on the Red Sox, but the Royals have now passed them up in the division. Should be a good pitching matchup tonight between Max Fried and Bailey Ober. But back to that pickup for the Packers. Interesting because, I mean, you hope you never have to use a backup quarterback, right? But just didn't see enough out of the backup guys in preseason.
Yeah, I guess not. And a 7th-round pick for next year's draft, that's pretty much almost getting him for free.
Yeah, that's fine.
So low risk, potentially high reward if he's learned a few things. And maybe the coaching staff can coach him up a little bit better than Tennessee.
Threw for almost 5,200 yards in college. So got a good arm. We'll see if it translates. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah.
It's good.
But again,
we approve.
Jordan Love, just stay healthy, and then this won't even be an issue.
Exactly.
There we go.
That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jacob.
Another look at your forecast right after this.
Join the conversation at facebook.com/news8000. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Right now, it's the Labor Day sale at Home Furniture. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices, like this counter table and 4 chairs for just $999. Or pay no interest for 3 years during the Labor Day sale, going on now at Home Furniture.
Drugs, gangs, and crime are flooding into our communities. But instead of getting tough on the border, Senator Tammy Baldwin supported amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants, including convicted criminals. Criminals like an illegal immigrant with multiple DUI charges who went on to kill a Wisconsin father of 3 while driving drunk again. Tell Senator Tammy Baldwin no amnesty for illegal immigrants, especially criminals. Vote to secure the border.
Your mom got a new tractor? Yep. Can she see in the dark? Can do. Hook up all the implements? Can do. Steer with ease? Can do. Bale hay all day? Can do. Shift like a race car? Can do. I'm out of here.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
It's Home Seasonal Concepts Labor Day Patio Closeout. Get up to 50% off regular prices on porch and patio sets, fire tables, and more. Like this 5-piece patio dining set for just $14.97. The Labor Day Patio Closeout at Home Seasonal Concepts.
All right, there's your line of severe thunderstorms marching west of Twin Cities. That's the one that we're kind of monitoring to see if it can continue. It would probably hit Eau Claire maybe about 10, 9:30, 10 if it stays together. And then La Crosse would be on the southern end of that. Not looking likely we'll see too much, but still it'd be around 10 to 11. So we have another round coming later tomorrow morning. Otherwise, much cooler as we go towards Labor Day weekend.
I'm getting excited for the weekend already.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.